Good evening, I'm Lauren McCoy.
And I'm Liz Reyes. Breaking tonight, the city of New Orleans confirming the names of the 3 finalists in that search for the next chief of police.
And the city says the mayor whittled down the initial list of 6 semi-finalists after receiving feedback from the group that led the search, along with internal and external panelists. David Jones breaks down what we know so far. David.
Yeah, Lauren, the 3 finalists who will now move on to interview with Mayor Cantrell are current NOPD Superintendent Michelle Woodfork, along with Cedric Andres, former police chief in Henderson, Nevada, and Ann Kirkpatrick, former police chief in Oakland, California. Now, a source tells Fox 8 the external panel of interviewers, which includes local business, civic, and political leaders, told the mayor a majority of its members believe Woodfork has shown great potential, but lacks the adequate experience and would benefit from mentoring. The group interviewed the semifinalist candidates along with a panel of internal city administration officials. During interviews conducted by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the candidates were ranked in 3 categories, with their scores breaking down as follows. In the first category, analysis presentation, Andre scored a 90%, Kirkpatrick scored an 89%, and Woodfork scored an 83%. In the second category, structured interview, Andre scored an 84%, Kirkpatrick scored a 58%, and Woodfork scored a 74%. In the third category, written exercise, all candidates scored below a 70%. Andre scored a 57%, Kirkpatrick scored a 64%, and Woodfork scored a 54%. The group leading the search, again the International Association of Chiefs of Police, or IACP, will start reaching out to city council members to arrange briefings with the group on what the search process entailed. The next step in the process is to bring the candidates into City Hall for an interview in person with Mayor Latoya Cantrell.